guess we are recording. Rock100DIZ.com. Hey, it is the Sports Crunch. What is happening, people? Yours truly, Captain, along with Rini Golia and my buddy Paul Hollywood. Talking some sports, our buddy Cassino is on the road today, so we won't have him in the studio, adding some color to these monochromatic proceedings.
Bump.
You like that? Okay, let's talk some NFL. Paulie, NFL owners meetings coming up to town next week, and the talk is strike next year. What do you think? Yes or no?
I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think so? You think they're going to get this done in the 11th hour?
I don't know if it'll be 11th hour, but I just think there's too much money to be made by everyone, and the players are really at a disadvantage because they have a war chest with the networks guarantee them money if they don't even play. So what advantage do the players have?
Well, I hope they go on strike. I really do. You want to know why?
Yeah, why?
I know why.
The Washington Redskins win the Super Bowl. Hey, they've won three out of 4 Super Bowls, or I should say, the 3 out of the 4 Super Bowls they've won. No, we've won 3. I take that back. We've won 3 Super Bowls. 2 of them when strike years, 82, 87.
I think this time around there will be no replacement games. I don't foresee that happening.
Here's the thing that scares me. I would have agreed with Paul 6 months ago. I would have said there's no way that there's going to be a holdout, a strike, whatever you want to call it, because of where the economy is. You have a bunch of owners, which are wealthy, which is fine, and you have a bunch of players, which are wealthy, which is fine, and they want to find a happy median, and you figured, okay, with the economy, with the way everything's going, they'll come to agreement. The difference from years ago is Gene Umshaw's no longer head of the union. You got a new guy.
He's no longer alive, for crying out loud.
Correct. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
But you have DeMaurice Smith, who's a young guy, a bright guy, heading the union, and basically they may strike. I mean, if it seems like the players are listening to him, and if the owners aren't going to divvy up what they want, they may do it. It's scary. I wouldn't think so. I hope not. But right now, I'd say it's 50-50.
But now, if they go on strike, guess who fills that void?
I don't think there'll be replacement players this time.
Yeah,
the UFL fills the void.
But that's not. But that's not going to offset.
Here's the problem. If you watch the state of the United States, kind of redundant there.
Well, the State of the Union.
People are paying attention more to things now that they never did before. Politics, things in general. Gas is up to $3. People get aggravated a lot easier than they used to. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Why is gas $2.75 a gallon?
It's going to go to $3. But my point is,
no, it won't.
My point is, look what it did to baseball when they went on strike. Right? Look, I think it would set the NFL. We can all agree is the number 1 sport in the United States by far. I don't even really think it's close. Okay.
No,
if they go on strike, there is a chance that people will revolt and look for other avenues, whether it be college football. Because I think people are just fed up with stuff, especially when there's a 12% unemployment rate and you got people equivalent over millions of dollars, right? Which is essentially what's happening here. So I think it would be very, very bad if they did it. I just don't know if they're smart enough not to do it. Because a lot of times they get... when these millionaires and these actors, it's not golfers, right? We got one right here. They get in their own cocoon, and they don't realize what, average America is thinking. And it's like we sit back and watch TV, and we're like, what the hell are you guys doing? What are you thinking? The people are the ones that buy the tickets to, fill the seats, and yet you guys are doing this and that, and you're just thinking, well, what the hell are you doing? So I think if they hold out, if they go on strike, it'll be very bad and may take them a few years to recover.
Years. I think if they strike, it would be catastrophic.
I think
it may be.
That would be the nail in the coffin for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They would not survive. That's a team that would be a casualty. They would not survive if there was a strike. Because they're on life support now, so if they had a strike, that would be it for them.
Where are they going to move to? Carver Shores?
I'll tell you the honest truth. And I've said this before. Nobody wants to listen to me. They want to go international, and I'm telling you right now, they're in the Eastern Division. I say they would end up going to London, England, because
the London Jaguars.
It would be huge because You'd have all the games over there would be televised at 6 o'clock at night. That would be 1 o'clock here. Just scheduling them coming over to the U.S. would be kind of tricky. But I think, you want to get international. That would be the perfect team to make the international over there in Europe.
Okay, but what if they had to play the AFC West?
Well, no, they'd have to work out a schedule. They'd have a 2-week break. What I would say, if there's a year that they have to play the AFC West, they would have to have a bye week, like, in between it. They'd have to play those 2 games out there before they'd have to come back. In fact, they would probably have to put their games together like they do a 3-week swing, probably somewhere out there, and they come back
It could
home.
be done, and I do agree. I think the NFL would love to go internationally. As much as I love football, I mean, that was my life, I just don't think you're going to budge soccer over there. And I don't think the NFL's trying to. The NFL wants to get their little niche over there, and if they can get it in London, and listen, the NFL, they're going to spend a ton of money on their focus groups, and they're going to do their studies. They're only going to go there if it's lucrative. You know what I mean? And I think, what's the other one? I mean, they're in Mexico like every year now.
Yes.
So I think that's another place that's more viable.
The Mexico City Jaguars.
Well,
I can see that one.
The only reason I don't see that happening, though, because Dallas is the big fan of the people in Mexico. And
Why are the Redskins?
Because they're more. Dallas is closer to Mexico. The games I think they probably have stations down there to broadcast the games in Mexico.
No, I was going somewhere and it didn't work. Okay, go ahead.
But I mean, the second thing that the NFL has to worry about, as far as getting fans back, I think if they did go on strike and they came back, people are going to watch it on TV. But it's going to the games. HD TV is the worst enemy to the state people going to the stadiums, because the games are better home on HD TVs. San Diego was a victim of that this year. San Diego was a division winner, played good, and they had a lot of blackouts, due to they couldn't sell the games because people stayed home and watched it in HD TV.
Because, also they didn't want to pay. How much is it to park out there? I mean, Jacksonville, we complained until we got our hookup that to park in Jacksonville was $25.
Well, in New England it's $50, in Dallas it's $75.
Dallas gotta be ridiculous.
Seattle is $40, so it is cheaper. Than the other
that's
places.
almost as much as the ticket is just to park my car.
It's expensive. For years we were season ticket holders at the University of Central Florida for football. We're not renewing this year. It's just, everyone's cutting back. And when you can watch games on TV, like Paul said, you got no distractions. You got your refrigerator there. You got your bathroom there. A lot more people are doing that.
Don't have to worry about going up and down the steps and somebody standing there with a sign saying that you got to wait.
And then if you have young kids, you got drunks swearing at you behind you, people spilling beer. I mean,
There's one thing I have to say, because we've been on our winter break. And while we were on winter break, I did go to the new Cowboy Stadium out there in Dallas for the NBA All-Star Game. And that stadium is incredible.
Yeah,
I was there with 108,000 people. And what's incredible is they emptied out that lot with 108,000 people within an hour. There was no traffic. That's incredible. So I'm not a big fan of Dallas.
Give the engineers a
So
kudos
no, Dallas
there.
has very good roads out there, highways to get people out of a facility.
So now, with that said, how long do you think it's going to take to empty 18,000 people out of the brand new Amway Arena?
90 minutes.
It's got to be. It's going to be a cluster. It's going to be a mess. Look how the
horrible.
parking is.
It's horrible.
Look where they got the parking. It's like these people.
Parking?
What parking? Yeah. I'm trying to tell the CEO that little old ladies are now going to have to cross I-4 just to get over there.
It's such a great facility, too. I mean, it looks coming together awesome, but, yeah, the parking is going to be a disaster.
I think it'll be atrocious.
Well, I think it's going to be good for them as long as they win. People will put up with
people
the
are going to
inconvenience.
go. That's not a problem.
But you're going to have a fact down the road. I mean, it's probably going to be 10 years down the road, say, when Dwight Howard's gone or something like that, and they're not competitive. People will not go through that hardship if the team's not good, and that's where they're going to run into some trouble.
But they want it like that because they want people parking all over down. They want people scattered up because they want people walking. I mean, there's going to be all new venues, restaurants, shops. They want to revitalize Church Street, and they want that. They want people out parking. They don't want people going from a parking garage home. They want people walking around, walking the street. So we'll see how it works for them.
we can all end up like Iron Man decathlon like yourself there.
Well,
That's right. Gotta get in shape.
They're supposedly now they figure they can't sell the old Amway Arena. They're supposed to be ripping that down. So I guess they can have parking there for the new Amway Center.
That's where the new baseball stadium's going, for the new Orlando baseball team.
For real?
It's just a thought. I don't know.
Oh no! I thought you had some information now.
If they implode the Orlando Arena, I want a couple of seats. And with that said, that concludes our YouTube segment of the Sports Crunch right here on Rock100DIZ.com.